What is good, y'all? We back. GQ.
Hey, it's Danger Felix, aka the Wiley Coyote, aka Too Fly to Be Shy, aka It's Good All Day, every day, even on the day that it rains. Think about it.
I like it. I like it. And of course, Bars will be joining us shortly. Yo, man. I gotta say, God is really good because he knows exactly when to, when you're feeling a certain way, when you're feeling down, when you're feeling discouraged. His timing is usually very perfect when it comes to giving you another push of inspiration. And it happened this week. I was having a little bit of a moment. I was feeling a little overwhelmed with some things that I was doing. Bars was good.
What's up, fellas? What's up? Sorry for my tardiness.
No problem, man. Just getting everybody set up, letting everybody know about the inspiration that hit me this week.
Okay.
Had a little bit of a moment, so I went to my phone like Drake and put out a long, heartfelt message to my brethren here, and it was basically talking about how the entire Those People movement, we're gonna succeed. And I came across something that kind of gave me a little bit of a glimpse of what our future could be. I don't want to go into any details right now, but let me just say the future of Those People Entertainment is great. I'm gonna leave it at that, and just stay tuned. Things are gonna start happening, and all of you guys are just gonna marvel at it. Y'all are just gonna be like, "Wow, they really doing it." So I just want to put that out there.
Absolutely, we got some things in the works. We working, we trying.
Exactly, and of course, I would like to say that we haven't scheduled an official film date for Final 3, but we will be getting started with that very, very soon. It's going to be fun. I have a lot of topics. Some are going to be revisits. Some are going to be brand new. It's going to be a really good time. Also, plugging in our boy Soul Patch. If you haven't gone to the Raw Orange online store, please do so. This man is an incredible artistic genius. The link is on thosepeople.com. Look for the link that says the Raw Orange online store, and it'll take you straight to his merchandise. Definitely treat yourself to it. And of course, we are more than just a podcast. We are production services, and we will provide pre-production, post-production, filming, live streaming, anything pertaining to production that you could think of. We will try our best to make sure that your vision becomes a reality. And now, speaking of vision, we're going to talk about episode 4 of WandaVision. First of all, Danger, did you see it? Oh, man. Okay, so I'm not going to spoil it. Let me just say, because I put up a Facebook post today, and it was a meme basically saying, like, this guy was sitting, Thanos was sitting like, I don't like WandaVision. And then Thor had a spoon putting in what was reading on the spoon episode 4. And he ate it. And then his next face was a surprised, pleasantly, satisfied face.
Yeah.
And I think it definitely makes sense. It definitely makes sense because I was watching the first 3 episodes, and because in my mind I'm like, okay, I trust Marvel, so I'm gonna go along for the ride because I don't really know what's happening. It's confusing, but I'll see what happens. Episode 4 makes you glad you did.
Definitely. I mean, I was cool with the entire first 3 episodes. You know what I'm saying? I understood what they were doing. I understood what they were taking. I figured at some point, the Marvel world that we knew would come through.
Exactly. Know? Yeah, it was and it was crazy because the way the writing is genius, because episode 4 literally answered all the questions you had for the first 3 episodes. You see certain things happening in episode 1, 2, and 3, and you're like, okay, why that happened? Why was this there? Why was that there? And episode 4 took the time to systematically answer almost all of those questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what comes next.
So for it, you can just say spoiler alert. You guys can spoil it. I mean,
Well, no, man, you're gonna really enjoy it. You're gonna really enjoy it if you don't get a spoiler.
So, I mean, just throwing that out there.
You sure? Because I mean, it's really like, okay, put it this way: episode 1, 2, and 3 is told from one perspective.
Yeah.
And then episode 4 is told from a completely different perspective that answers the questions you had from the previous perspective.
Okay.
So that's, giving you what to expect without spoiling it, because I don't want to spoil it for anybody else that may be watching this and,
And just know that, it's about to get real crazy.
It's about to get super real. But let's move on from that, because I was pleasantly surprised with this. But this movie that I talked about previously, American Skin. Let me just say this. If you watch this movie and you are not furious with your blood boiling by the end of the film, there's something wrong with you. Wouldn't you agree, Bars?
Yeah, definitely. I saw this film and, I really had high expectations for it. I was excited for it to come out. When I saw the trailer, it was like, man, okay, this is something that we always see, traffic stops. We know how that goes. But finally, we got a father that's, he's getting ready to take the justice system in his own hands, you know what I mean, and do some things that we all wish we had the balls to do.
Yeah, that's the face that Bars has right now. It was one of those things, man, where you're watching it and then all of a sudden you go, and then credits.
Yeah. There was so many times throughout it where I was just, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why is this nigga still alive? Why is he still here?
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I got a colder heart. I don't know, maybe. But okay, for those of you who don't know the plot of the movie that we're talking about, it's Nate Park and his brother get pulled over at a traffic stop. Gets murdered by the police. I want to say, is it like a year later or something like that? He decides the cop gets acquitted. Keeps his job. Nate Parker decides, okay, enough is enough. I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna take over. He gets a bunch of guys. They go inside the police station. They hold him hostage. They have the prisoners of the jail or of the police station be the jury. They go through this whole like court system type of thing, going through evidence, going through back and forth. They have representatives for each side. You know what I'm saying? So they go through this whole thing. And the verdict is, naturally, the cop was found guilty. Now, the prisoners who are jury, they had a question before this whole thing started. They asked him, were you willing to take this thing all the way? Whatever the verdict is, were you willing to take this thing all the way? Yo, Hitman. Yo, it's called American Skin. American Skin. And because I see we have people who haven't seen it yet, I won't ruin the ending, but I haven't felt that angry at a movie.
Furious.
Maybe ever, honestly.
It's funny. I watched it today. I watched it today because I remember us talking about it. And I actually wasn't that mad because obviously the movie was made with a purpose. And that purpose was served. But the purpose was it was kind of, I want to say, like, it was non-consequential. You know what I mean? Like you said, the trailer seemed very powerful, and that maybe the message is going to be different than what the actual outcome was. Not to spoil it, I definitely advise everybody to watch it. It's meant to stimulate thought. That's all. It's meant to start the conversations that we've been having. But I wasn't too disappointed about it, to be honest. Did you
feel like it was coming already?
I knew. Huh?
Did you get a feeling that that was going to happen, or? It was just like whatever.
Yeah, because you know what? When we first saw the trailer, we were like, "Wow, this is dicey, right? This is really pushing those boundaries," and it kind of made you think, "Yeah, where are they going to go with this?" Because we haven't seen this type of storytelling.
Yeah,
and it's not like these type of stories that are being told don't got real life consequences to them.
Yeah, and I think that's for me. It's like I had that slither of hope. You know, I knew the outcome. I knew the outcome. As a black man, you don't make it out of this situation. In real life, the movie wouldn't have been realistic had it ended any other way.
Yeah, because then if he ended up like a hero at the very end, I'm like, nah, that would never happen in real life.
Yeah, so I mean, it was a good movie. Danger, to your point, it did its job. It did what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to evoke emotion. It's supposed to evoke feeling. You know, you're supposed to be angry. You know, but it's expected also. But for me, for whatever reason, man, it's just like certain points in that film. It was like, it was true.
Especially hearing some of the arguments.
Yeah,
man,
that was
like, how can you be so dense?
I mean, you know what though? It was accurate. Almost everything about the movie was accurate. I know you had to go like, what are you guys doing? But when you think about it, when you hear the conversations, those conversations are the exact conversations that we are having every day with different people with different opinions on the issue. So yeah. Also, Hitman Rodriguez. Yeah, you're right. Black and Blue is similar. It addresses the other part of the legal system, and what's right and wrong. At the end of the day, what's right and wrong. And I did like how they did this movie. I like the different perspectives. I like the opinions because we kind of get to understand how people feel about it, whether it's logical or not logical. Yeah, and we can talk about that more if you guys want to bring it back up after everybody has seen it.
I thought it was interesting how they had the Hispanic cop representing the white cop.
I thought that was interesting too, because usually Spanish and black are pit up on the same side.
Kind of, but Danger, go ahead.
Sometimes. Sometimes. The relationship between like blacks and Hispanics is very unique because it's not like all blacks and Hispanics. There's a good portion of certain individuals of that diaspora. You know what I mean? Like you have like Cuban Hispanics that feel some type of way about certain things. You got Colombian Hispanics that, you know what I mean? So it's not really that cut and dry. But what happens is that when stuff gets rough, when we start talking about us and the other, it's always, white Europeans and then brown people. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's typically what happens is the West lumps us together as brown people. But individually, when it comes to us picking sides, it's not always all brown people together. Yeah. That's been my experience personally. I got some people that ride with me, just like my black brother. Down for the cause. I'm with you, you with me. And some other ones are just like, I don't understand what the problem is about racial profiling. Okay.
Hold on. We got a comment. So most corrupt cops, Terry Malone and Black and Blue. He killed like Cage, y'all. Man, y'all got me looking for this movie. Yeah, you need to look for it, man.
He meant Luke Cage. And it's funny, Luke Cage, because the cat that I'm talking about, the Hispanic cop, he plays Shades in Luke Cage.
Yeah.
I actually like him as Shades in Luke Cage. I like him as Juice in Sons of Anarchy, but I hate him in this film. And
he was a dick.
When I see his
dick in this film.
That's real though. Like he represented what's real, and also you got to take into consideration is that he wasn't just a Hispanic person, right? Yeah. He was a Hispanic cop. Mm-hmm. You saw the black guy was a chief. He wasn't just a black guy. He's a Hispanic cop. And a lot of cops, man, when you get in, it's like a gang. It's an organization, just like any other organization, is tight knit. You know what I mean? They're not black. They're blue. They're not Hispanic. They're blue. They're not. You know what I mean? That's why it was really interesting when you had the one female cop in that whole conversation, because she kind of was like, "Yo, I'm a cop. Yeah. I am blue, but I'm also this." You know what I mean? Like there's a duality. So, but I feel like they did a good job of depicting the reality of those perspectives. And I think what doesn't help is that we saw a reflection of real life. This was art, reflecting real life, but we didn't have any. All right, so what do we do with this? You know what I mean? At the end of it, what do we do with this wealth of information that we already had? And I think that's the part of it that kind of makes you be like,
Yeah,
Okay, so
it doesn't move the conversation. It doesn't, it keeps us kind of where we already knew we were.
Yeah.
I
Because
guess
they made some valid points during some of the arguments, but it was like, okay, now that such and such happened,
right.
now what?
Yeah.
So,
I understand what they were trying to do with the both sides, but just still fuck the police and fuck American Skin. I'll never watch that movie again. I can't.
I don't know, especially now knowing what happens. No, I can't watch it again.
I actually gotta watch it one more
No,
time.
wifey hasn't watched it yet.
Yeah.
She hasn't watched it yet, and I told her just be prepared because you might want to cut somebody out by the end of it.
Yeah.
But in either case, we're going to move on to the next topic, which is something that's been big this week. Robinhood GameStop situation. Danger, can you fill us in on some of those details?
Yeah, man. So this is actually a collaborative thing because it was so big that I saw some stuff about it, and then Bars actually hit me with some additional information. So we've been talking about it. So I'm gonna give the gist of it, and Bars, you can give your side of it, man. What you got on it? So essentially, what makes the story so big is that I don't even know how you start this off to kind of put it in perspective. All right, so a lot of people bet on GameStop. A lot of hedge funds, a lot of corporations, a lot of the more wealthier, more affluent stock traders in the market went out and they shorted GameStop stock, which means that they bet that GameStop would continue to fail. It would downward trend. The stock would decrease in value. So when they did that, right, they were kind of right. You saw trends with GameStop stock starting to slow down. You saw, the price of it start to gradually go down. It was somewhere around $27, $15, $10, getting all the way down to like $3 or $2 per share. So when you short it, every time it goes down, you make money that way. And there were some individuals on Reddit, one individual in particular, who actually saw this and said to himself, well, wait a minute, GameStop is going down. Their stock is going down, right? It's severely undervalued because everybody was like, okay, obviously it's going down. We're going to keep shorting it because it's going to keep going down. We're going to keep making money. So a lot of companies spent millions, probably even billions, definitely billions of dollars trying to bet against GameStop, right? Mm-hmm. So what happened was, yeah. Well, I mean, so shorting is not unusual. They made movies about it. It's kind of what happened that caused or had a huge effect on the stock market crash of 2008. Mm-hmm. So, it's kind of something that happens. And in this case, it wouldn't be so bad if this Reddit guy came on there and said, you know what, this doesn't make sense. Everybody's betting against GameStop. It's 90% shorted. That 90% of people shorted this stock because they don't believe in it. But he said, hey,
y'all don't believe in it, huh? Okay, we'll do something about that.
Yeah, he said Xbox has a new console coming out. The PS5 is about to be released, and they still run on discs. Mm-hmm. And GameStop sells discs.
All right.
So gradually, obviously that's going to come up. So what he did is he put 50 G's in it. Mm-hmm. He put 50 G's in it. He basically wrote on Reddit about his view of the stock, and people agreed with him and bought in. So he initially bought 50 G's, and he kept adding a little bit more. And so he got a pretty good amount invested, but it's still around, 50, probably under 100,000. And what happens? A lot of people started buying into the stock market, the stock of GameStop started to rise gradually and slowly. More people bought it. So there's more people who are saying, you know what? We believe in GameStop stock like this guy. And all of a sudden, when more people buy into stock, the stock goes up. So because of that, all these people bought the stock cheap, $2-3, right? Yeah. And because everyone bought into it, and you saw that market value, GameStop stock went through the roof. Yeah. It's up like 1,600%. 1,600%. Has bounced back so much. I think the last time they stopped the trading was at 385. 385 from $4.
What was the name of the Reddit page? I think it was Wall Street Bets.
Yeah, Wall Street Bets.
Yeah.
And the issue with it,
I didn't know about them earlier.
I know, right? Man. Bars got more now. Bars got more than that in a second. But the reason why it was so huge is not only because these people made money. I don't think anyone will care if these people made money. The one guy made an estimated $22 million in profit after taking $5 million. So he probably made somewhere closer to 27, 28 mil, right? The reason why this is such a big deal is that all of these hedge fund people are losing billions of dollars. That's why it's a big deal, because they're losing billions of dollars, and there are brokerage houses like Robinhood that's supposed to take from the rich and give to the poor, and is doing the opposite because they stopped and are limiting certain trades.
I was gonna say that's kind of shady to limit some of the activity and only have it open for certain people that are on the inside.
Yeah, it seems very sketchy. It looks very illegal. There is a congresswoman who's actually looking into it, and a few other people who actually look into it to find if there's actually legal charges that they could actually press. But it's huge because of that. You know, we always talk about this battle of the haves and the have-nots, and the have-nots look like they found a cheat code to legally make this money, and the haves are losing big, and they can't tolerate this. This can't happen. So
I think Ricky Valero was in here and he said, "Screw those rich crybabies."
So all in all, Robinhood, they what they did was pretty much illegal, right? At the end of the day, that's what they're dealing with. That's what they're going through. As far as stopping the trades, danger.
Yeah. So what they did is they actually full stopped certain trades for certain people. I'm gonna let you think about who the certain people was.
Now it's just because they did it with GameStop. They did it with what is it, AMC?
Yeah, AMC was one of them.
Nokia, a couple of other ones.
They expanded the list over a couple of days.
Yeah. You guys heard about the 10-year-old kid that cashed out at GameStop?
I please fill us in on the whole story because I heard little bits and pieces, but
so 10-year-old kid, he was gifted 10 shares of GameStop that his mother purchased for him at $6.19.
Good job, Mom.
Right?
For real.
And, that she got that back in 2019, December 2019. So when all this happened, they decided to sell. Had he stuck in there a little longer, he probably could have gotten a little more, but it's cool. Once they sold, he ended up cashing out at $3,200.
Damn.
So yeah, he was able to flip
for a 10-year-old kid. That is
money in
riches.
Was it Jaden Carr, man? Brown people, we got to get in the game.
Yeah,
we got to get educated, get in the stock market, man. These things happen every once in a while. You just got to be
there. Yeah, man. These stocks they're interesting. I'm curious to see how that affects what Robinhood did, how it affects the future.
Yeah, because now I wonder if that's going to affect the amount of users they'll have, because I'm sure a lot of people are just going to jump ship to something else that's a little bit more trustworthy.
But ultimately, how is it going to affect the stock market in the future? Because I mean, I know now. As soon as I heard about this dude off of Reddit, I instantly went and followed him. And he's been putting people up on something called Dogecoin, which is like another form.
Yeah, I gotta jump on that because I've been hearing about that too. The cryptocurrency.
I'm trying. I jumped in it. We'll see what happens, but I'm gonna take his word for it.
Okay.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it affects. I mean, he's basically manipulating the market, and if he gets enough people behind him, which he kind of has enough people behind him to trust him and to pretty much do what he says, so that everybody.
He's not really an insider per se, correct?
No, I don't think he is. I think he's
just very well in tune with.
I think he understands how stocks work, so he put his money
better than most.
He put his money into stock, and then he had people come and pretty much he informed them, and they backed him. Ultimately, they backed them and invested in that same stock, and everybody got rich off of it. I
would like to be a part of that Discord group.
Yeah,
man, to hear those conversations, just take notes.
the community, reinvesting into the community, basically.
Yeah.
You know.
Man.
And they had him on. They had the Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort on CNN, and he went ahead and sprinkled his little 2 cents in on it, and he was like amazed at it. He was blown, back by how big this thing is.
You impressed Belfort? That's something.
Right?
Right, but even him, he was like, yeah, there's some illegalish activity going on. He was just like, yeah, something doesn't smell right with these brokerage houses stopping the trade.
The only thing I could think of that could possibly be an explanation is somebody that is on the inside is letting him know what the situation is, and because he's not an insider, he can do whatever he wants.
Well, when you look at it, right, it's not like it was rocket science. When you look at his reasoning for it, it wasn't really rocket science. What happened with GameStop is that they shorted somehow. They were able to short the stock too much. So what they did when you short a stock, there's a portion of it where you're basically borrowing stock from somebody, right?
Right.
You're investing it, you're making the money back, and then you're paying that person back the stocks that they gave you. The problem was that people were borrowing stocks that didn't exist. They didn't exist. So what happened was he looked at this and said, people are over shorting it, right? They're over shorting it, and the stock's undervalued because, again, there's a new PS5 coming out, and there's a new Xbox. So there's no way for GameStop stock to stay at that price. Even if you don't believe it'll climb, there's no way it'll stay at that price. No. So with that basic reasoning, supply and demand, basic reasoning, there's new consoles coming out. These guys sell new
games too.
It's simple. The only thing he did, to Barz's point, is he got other people to see that and to believe in it enough to be like, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to take some of the stimulus money and reinvest it in some stock.
Yeah. That makes sense. And the thing is, it's not like the movie industry. It's not like the music industry where there used to be a physical medium and now everything is just digital. You stream everything. A video game till this day can't be bootlegged the way a movie and music can. Maybe a little bit, but as far as like on a grand scale, the way movies and music has been, I haven't seen it personally. Maybe you guys have seen something different.
I heard some stuff.
Listen, I knew how to do it back in high school. I'll tell you that. So if I could do it in high school, I'm pretty sure in 2021 they figured out a more efficient way of making it happen. Also,
yeah, but you don't think
it's just
taking necessary precautions too?
Huh?
You don't think they're taking necessary precautions to kind of like safeguard that?
I'm sure they're taking the same precautions as the movies have. We'll see what that did.
They trying. They're trying. These cameras is trying harder than. Oh yeah. And the other
we got a comment coming in right there. It's legal to overshort because it's historically going down. They're basically betting that the stock will continue to go down in the future.
Right, because of COVID. They expected, GameStop to close up shop. They expect the AMC, the theaters, to close up shop.
Makes sense.
Well, you know what? They had Robinhood's CEO on explaining the reasons for why they basically stopped the trades and they limited for certain people, and it didn't make any sense. Did you see it? It didn't make any sense. So basically, he was talking about how he did it to protect people. Because you remember that guy? There's a young college student. He's in his 20s. He actually killed himself because he was investing in options for a company, and he ended up owing something like $760,000. And he killed himself because of that. So they put protections in place after that already for options. So when this happened, he was like, "Oh well, we try to do it to protect people." So the only issue with that is this: the SEC is responsible for putting in protections like that. You know what I mean? If it's going to affect the market like that, if it's going to hurt people, they're supposed to put stuff in place. So when this happened, we didn't hear anything from the SEC. SEC didn't say anything. I'm sure they saw it on the radar. This is too big for them to miss it. So if they didn't say anything, why does Robinhood feel like it's their responsibility to do so?
Yeah.
Okay. And then he went on to say, it has nothing to do with any internal customers like either large clients of theirs or people who are part of their company that has a large stake. It has nothing to do with that. Really?
Why would they mention that specifically?
Because they know, because you know what? It's a response to the rumors that are out there of why they did what they did, because it doesn't make sense.
Right.
Yeah, but then to bring attention to it by saying, "Oh, it's not this." Come on.
Yeah, and think about it. Who's getting hurt? In the other example, that was a regular kid, probably a middle income, middle class kid messing around with stuff that he probably didn't fully understand. Okay.
Right.
In this situation, you got most of it is billionaires and millionaires who saw an opportunity and didn't keep a close enough eye on it to say, you know what, that makes sense. What the Greta guy found, that makes sense. I'm going to pull out of this position because it's going to increase. Exactly. I'm going to stop my short. I'm going to stop my short sale. I'm going to switch up. They didn't do that, and it's only hurting them. I'm pretty sure most of them can afford it. Not to say that everybody's a hedge fund manager, but the biggest losers in this are the hedge fund managers. Are the multimillionaires. It's not the regular everyday people who are shorting. Trust.
So now I want to transition over to something else. Since we were talking about COVID, we're going to shift into this because apparently a lot of television programming has, how do you put it? They've kind of changed a little bit of their programming to kind of fit the times. They kind of rewritten storylines and included, the COVID situation, which I find very interesting. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
I hate it, man. I really do. We've been living with this COVID shit for almost going on a year. I think we're like 10, 11 months into it now. We're almost going on a full year of this COVID shit. So I don't want my favorite shows to come back and I have to watch COVID. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like the whole point of watching some of these shows is to escape COVID. We ain't trying to get reminded of what we're going through right now.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to go out into the world and have to deal with COVID, come home and have to deal with COVID still. You know what I mean? So yeah, that shit is fucking annoying. It's annoying as hell.
It is.
I literally watched the newest episode of Your Honor, and last week they didn't have a new episode, right? And
because they were reshaping some stuff to fit the COVID narrative.
They didn't make an announcement or anything, so they come back this week, and all of a sudden they're like, they're talking about the pandemic, they're talking about COVID, and they got people sprinkled in with masks here and there. It's like, wait, did y'all really like quarantine for 2 weeks?
That's right. Got it real. They made it real. Yeah. They'd be like, how many days was the last episode?
Right. Like, that was a real full 14 days.
But you know what though? I'm okay with Grey's Anatomy covering it because it's a medical show. I mean, yeah. But everything else, no, stop it. Yeah. Just stick with whatever you were going to do before. Of course, stick with the guidelines as you're filming, but don't make it blatantly obvious that we're making COVID announcements throughout the entire show.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. The first episode I saw was Superstore, like Superstore, when they first introduced the whole COVID narrative. I thought it was funny. You know what I mean? Because we were kind of over some of the jokes that they made about the shortage of toilet paper and how people were super sensitive about kind of the germ situation and being super careful. And it was cool because we were kind of over that part. We don't have a shortage of toilet paper in most places now. But then, so it was nice to laugh. It was nice to break that up and to make fun of it. But then you kind of realize you're still in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like watching, coverage of,
so much
like
for
a hurricane. It's like a hurricane while you're still in the hurricane zone. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm terrified right now. What are you showing me? So
I think I guess I didn't quite notice as much. I think I'm a mouth watcher when it comes to watching films or TV or whatever.
Mouth watcher.
Yeah, I realize I pay attention to people's mouths when they're talking, I don't know if it's I don't know what it does for me psychologically, but I find myself focusing a lot on the mouth area of the person talking on screen. So now when they're wearing masks, there's a disconnect. I'm not as into it because it's like,
where's your mouth?
Yeah, are you really talking? Is that really you?
Yeah, is that an overdub?
What?
You could have somebody just doing, you know what they did with Power Rangers? They just had the Power Rangers mask and they were just like talking like this, and you were just feeling that they were just saying something.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's very annoying.
All right.
Yeah, you gotta read, you guys switch up your style. You gotta start reading eyes and eyebrows, man. Foreheads.
Oh man, these acts, I guess they have to learn how to act with their eyebrows. You know, the eyes and
oh my gosh.
Oh man. No, I mean, so sometimes you got to read somebody's lips so you can make sure that you're hearing correctly. You know?
Yeah. They get it loud and clear.
Yeah, definitely.
Or just
that's all that is. It's no big deal.
Enough for the COVID. I don't. And do not. If I see Marvel anything with COVID, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yo, I'm gonna be mad as heck. If Falcon and the Winter Soldier says, "Hey, before we go save those people, don't forget your mask."
It's coming. Or something like.
It's coming. It's like, all right, let's go ahead and do this.
Right.
Here's some sanitizer before you punch those Nazis in the face. So
have they added this to kids shows and anime yet?
That's a good. I don't think anime. Anime.
I'm gonna get working on that. Got to spoil it for everybody.
Yeah.
What? So you can market to the audience.
Exactly.
And advertise.
Goku's about to go Super Saiyan-tized.
Oh man! All right. So now we're gonna move on to something a little bit more upbeat, and that is this. Kinda. Biden barrier breaker.
Okay.
Danger,
man.
please.
So the Biden-Harris administration, man. Before we were talking about the elections and we talked about how, the things we're looking to happen, right? The things that we're looking to change under a new administration before we elected, the current administration that's in the White House. And we talked about the changes that we wanted to see. And one of the things with, Joe Biden previously being part of, right? So we talked about, what we wanted to see with Joe Biden, being very progressive and seeming to get about trying to represent all people, right? And Kamala Harris being of such a diverse background that she's from. So, I wondered if and when they were going to address the stuff that, people have been marching for, stuff that we've been talking about on boards about racial equality. And things of that nature. And apparently they've been getting into work very quickly. Like they've jumped on this real quick. Before they even really took over power, they were doing the briefings about COVID. They've really rolled up their sleeves and really got into it. So there was just a few things that happened recently. So what he did is Joe Biden had passed some executive orders for some equality laws. So let me pull them up here. So since he took office just a week ago, covered a wide breadth of issues. Better enforcement of federal housing laws to prevent discrimination. Increased communication with the support for Native American tribes.
Okay.
Criminal justice reform, the thing that Kim Kardashian was working on by herself. And the condemnation of xenophobia. So they're already pushing that stuff through so we can get some changes so we don't, hopefully in the future, when we get the details of this, maybe we won't see a lot of the American skin issues coming out as much or at all, God willing. So, yeah, man. So happy about the work that they're doing. I hope that it really translates into stuff that we can see every day about, us as just all people, really truly having equal rights and being treated equally.
I'm definitely all for equal rights, all sexes and colors. And and genders also. But
I'm really holding on to see where this is going.
Is there truth to Biden passing a bill that not only allows transgenders back into the army, which is totally great, but also allows transgender teens to participate in high school sports?
So I'm pretty sure it's probably not, because those two things seem very different. I'll look into it to confirm the military thing. Most likely the school thing, I'm not sure, because that's more of a local thing.
I don't want to put out the false information, but hopefully that's not the case.
Yeah, I'll check to make sure though. I'm going to check to make sure. I got you.
Yeah. Got you. I don't want to have to trip a child because my daughter was first place in a track meet, and here comes yeah. We'll just
we know what you mean. We know what you mean. Yeah. Well, you know what? Something similar to that, because this issue was addressed before in a lot of professional sports. There was a situation. Not sure if you've heard of this athlete named Fallon Fox. Fallon Fox was a man, a transgender woman, formerly a man, now a woman, that was participating in mixed martial arts in the women's division. And there was a lot of controversy surrounding that, because they were saying that, she has an unfair advantage. Then one side was saying, well, that's not true, because she took all the proper hormones, and now she's a fully a woman. But then on the other side, they were like, yeah, but the thing is, when you're born a particular gender, you have a certain bone density to you that is not, easily transferred to another gender. So what do you guys think of that situation?
So I'm very much in favor for equality, including for the LGBTQ community. When it comes to specific things like, sports and athletics, I think it's a lot more complicated than just using the proper pronouns, because of the biological component of it. You know what I mean? I respect and understand that that's how you feel about who you are as an individual, as a person, as a being, right? And not matching your physical, but at the same time, there is biological disparities. So unless there's a way for us to measure, hey, your muscle mass is that of a woman every single time you compete, I feel like there will always be an unfair advantage, and we're going to really have to work on that. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I understand, respect how you feel, but physically your body was made when you were created in a very specific way. So if you're a male, you have that benefit of, like you said, the bone. I have to look into the bone density. I know the muscle mass. We grow muscle a lot faster. We burn fat a lot faster. There's some benefits, that we have as men. So, I think it's a complicated issue, man. That if there's a way to figure it out, to measure certain things, to make it truly equal, cool. But if not, it's, you know what I mean? I don't know what else to do.
You don't want to. Would it be a form of segregation or exclusion if you gave them their own league, if you gave them their own conference, their own division?
Like transgender.
Yeah, it could be man and women playing against each other, but trans. You know what I mean?
Like a whole trans league. But then even that is complicated, because it's like you have more than one division in a trans league. You have men that have become women, that division. You have women that have become men, that separate division. It's really interesting, because like what's his face? Like Hitman was saying, what's to stop somebody from going for both awards in both genders? Like, what's to stop somebody to go and get the male heavyweight belt or light heavyweight belt in a mixed martial arts fight, and then go into the other division and get the female belt?
Right.
Vice versa.
So typically, real transgendered persons don't switch their genders. Usually, if they're full fledged, if they've gone through their therapy for their mental health to make sure that that's who they are, and then their physical transitions, typically they don't transition back unless
they're Juana.
Years later, a time later, they feel like it was a mistake and they want to go back. But I think that's less likely to happen, to be honest, if they're really.
I'm thinking of a situation. I'm thinking of a situation in which, let's say, there was a man that competed in a particular sport for an extended period of time, won all of his awards and his accolades. Boom, he got those awards on the shelf. Cool. Then time passes. He decides, you know what? I want to be a woman now. Goes through all the proper therapies, takes the hormone treatment, does the surgery, does the whole 9 yards. And then down the line, after they've made their full transition, they decide, you know what? I want to compete again, but I can't compete in the league the division that I was in before. So let me go into this division. Would that be allowed? And how would that be perceived by the public?
Well, that's a good question. I think that seems like it's more possible.
But I think that's happened though. There was a track star.
Okay.
She won a medal in the men's competition, and when she later on made the transition, she won the medal in the females competition. I think she's from like it's not American. She's there. I want to say she's in a country from Africa or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, it's definitely something that's gonna happen more in the future. I mean, we hear stories of the NBA possibly talking about intertwining the NBA and the WNBA. They haven't had that happen yet. How interesting would something like that be? When you think about it, I mean, I really, when it comes to like All-Star Weekend and they have the what is it? Is it the celebrity game, or they had one of the games where they had the WNBA women included, WNBA players included.
Okay. Are you talking about the All-Star game?
Yeah. I mean, that's the only time we actually get to see male NBA players and female WNBA players compete against each other. It's really nice.
So listen, all right. It's all fun and games, right? We're passing the ball and stuff. We Steph Curry and threes and stuff. When you in that paint and you take an elbow to the nose, that's when things get that's when the controversy starts. That's when you get the tweets. You know what I mean? Like, oh, he hit that woman. Like, yo, that's Brittany Griner. You know what I mean? That's debatable, but still, that's part of the game, right? We're all playing.
Maddie said it's
what I mean? Like, I like Brittany Griner. She cool. But you know what I mean? I think everything works until we get into the stuff that we see in the NBA. If let's say a female WNBA player is sitting guarding Kawhi Leonard, and Kawhi Leonard backs her up and he elbows her in the face. How are we as a society gonna look at that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Women are gonna be like, oh my gosh, why did he do that? And dudes is gonna be like, well, she signed up for it. And are we gonna be in the wrong for saying that? Because if there's another dude like it is now, it's nothing. The ball gets hit in the nose.
Yeah. I saw Hitman make the statement about the I guess WWE have Royal Rumble coming up, and they have female competitors.
But that right there. That's more so sports entertainment, where it's very scripted, organized. It's very controlled.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. So those they're putting their bodies through a lot, but those men aren't hitting them.
Yeah.
There's not going to be any much physical contact outside of a body slam or something like that.
Well, Randy Orton RKO Alexis Bliss last week, and no one got mad. Yeah, of course not, because it's rehearsed. I equate WWE to a male soap opera. It's a male soap opera with some fighting in between. And I got plenty of phone numbers back into the state.
Oh, definitely. Hey, let the girl box you out for the rebound.
Not me. Swat that shit. following through. She be on the ground.
Blocking
My house.
This is actually a really good transition because speaking of abuse,
man.
we're going to talk about this right here. But before we begin, I want to play something just real quick. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but just to kind of give us a little bit of an idea of the gravity of the situation. So check this out, and we're going to talk about it. As soon as there's sound. Hold on.
Guys, so this is former owner of the Glam Bar in Atlanta, Sabrina Peterson, ignited a firestorm of controversy this week after she accused Clifford T.I. Harris of once holding a gun to her head, which she later claimed occurred while she was beating up his former female assistant. But on Thursday, January 28th, Peterson took it to a whole other level when she started posting alleged testimonies from multiple women accusing the couple of drugging, trafficking, and sexually abusing them. The internet chatter grew so intense, Tip and Tiny became a trending Twitter topic as more and more alleged victims came out of the woodwork. But in a statement obtained by Hip Hop PX, the Harrises refuted all allegations. Mr. and Mrs. Harris want to be on record and more importantly want the public to know they empathetically deny in the strongest way possible the rigorously appalling allegations being made against them by Sabrina Peterson. A spokesperson says the Harrises have had difficulty with this woman for well over a decade. They're taking this matter very seriously, and if these allegations don't end, they will take appropriate legal action.
Okay. That sounds intense. What do you think? Who do you think is lying in this situation? Or who do you suspect is lying in the situation?
Unfortunately, this isn't a joking matter. So forgive the smile. It's I was thinking about T.I.'s response to it, and T.I. he always uses these big words and stuff, basically just to say that him and Tiny are innocent. But it's not the first time that allegations like this have been brought up against Tiny and T.I. It's said that their sex life is not for the faint of heart. They dabble in a little bit of swinging supposedly. They pick up girls all the time, bring them back, whatever they do. But for whatever reason, the young lady that you see on your screen, she says she had an interaction with them one night and a gun was put to her head. I'm not sure if it was because she wouldn't do things what they were asking or what the situation was, but by her coming out and saying these things, other women supposedly have come out also with their stories saying, they've been treated the same way, they've been kidnapped, or they've been put in situations where they felt like they had no option but to have sex, or things like that, or coerced to do certain things or whatever like that. I don't know what happens from here. I'm not sure.
I don't know, man. It's just not looking good. But I mean, if they had their legal team on it, hopefully the truth eventually comes out and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, I think
it's.
Go ahead. No.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I've heard a lot of, especially women, coming down on Tiny.
That's so disrespectful. We gotta be honest, guys. I don't think T.I. and Tiny doing this. Look at that chick. She ugly.
Coming down on Tiny and T.I., mainly because of the relationship they know T.I. has with his daughters. And they say, how can you be so protective of your daughters if you guys are treating women like this? And some of these girls, actually some of the girls that have come out, they said that some of their interactions have been while they were underage, 16, 17. So yeah, it's pretty scary.
Hitman says, I don't think T.I. and Tiny gonna risk it for these 4s and 5s. Bro.
Hey, don't sleep on the 4s and 5s, man. Okay, they be putting in the most effort. I saw this. Yeah, I saw this story, and when you sent it, I went ahead and looked into it, and yeah, man, I feel like it's more likely that these people are just exploiting the fact that they live a wild sex life and we know about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that they're kind of more out there. You know, we heard about the weird sex life that Will and Jada got, but for most part, they're not really out there as much. You know, they're not seen on the streets as much in clubs. So there's probably not as many opportunities to provide these same allegations against them as they do with T.I. and Tiny. But like I would look into the story. I think it's this girl right here is the first one who sent there and put it out there. Apparently her and Tiny were friends.
Yeah.
And they had like a falling out.
Mm-hmm.
And it just spirals out of control after that. Like she got into some legal trouble. She accused some other people of sexual assault. Her story seems real shaky given the events that occurred after that point and up to that point of these allegations. So I don't know. I feel like it's less likely that a lot of these things are true. But again, because they out there with their unique, you know, sexual, you know, energy, I feel like, you know, they're more susceptible to people trying to get over on them and us believing, you know, these stories. Not to say they may not be true. It's just that I'm more inclined to believe that they're not.
I mean, they're not really that far out there with it. As far as like, they don't really talk about it too much unless something's brought up. This situation, she may be lying. She even posted a few quote unquote DMs from other girls who've had experiences with them, and those.
Yeah, but the thing about screenshots of DMs, there's so many apps out there where you can fake a conversation.
I was gonna say those have came out to be fake. People wrote those and sent them to her. Suppose like blogs wrote them up and sent them to her just to see if she would post them.
Right.
And you know they say that they're fake or whatever like that. But like I said, it's not the first time or the first situation that I've heard this about Tiny and T.I.
Hey, Bars, please read this. I want you to read this out loud in your T.I. voice.
Let me see. I unequivocally can attest to the falsehoods of these treacherous allegations brought upon my kingdom pop. What? Yo, if you haven't seen the clip though of T.I.'s response, for
yeah.
Yeah, man.
I don't know, man. I guess we'll see what happens because apparently people out the woodwork.
Let me ask: are people forced to take drugs? Like, are people actually doing that out there? Like, hey, snort this cocaine, smoke this weed. Like, are people doing that like that?
No, I don't know. I doubt it, but you know, I can't put anything past these celebrities.
I'm sure there's probably a lot of peer pressure. You know.
Yeah. I mean, nobody's holding them at gunpoint. Hey, smoke this, or sniff this, or maybe.
That was the allegation. So,
but you know, where there's smoke, there's fire. So,
well then. All right. So now let's move on to this because I think this is quite preposterous. Let's talk about it.
Facts.
Do you really believe that Tom Brady is the greatest athlete of all time? Hold on, before you answer, this is going to be followed up with a video clip that I'm going to play. This is an excerpt from a Sports Illustrated conversation. And I don't know, maybe he makes valid points. Maybe he doesn't. You guys look at it and you let me know what you guys think. Here we go.
Tom Brady didn't have his best game, but he still headed to the big game for the 10th time. And at 43 years old and on a new team, which prompted many to declare him the best athlete they'd ever seen, or at least ask the question, is he the greatest athlete ever?
All right. Thoughts?
Hell no.
LeBron James.
I was just gonna say, why is it when Tom Brady shifts teams and does what he does, he is acclaimed as one of the greatest athletes of our time, but LeBron did it and he gets nothing but slander.
LeBron James is on his third NBA team, winning a ring at each stop that he's made. Just saying.
Well, not necessarily, but yes and no.
LA, Miami, Cleveland.
Absolutely, you're right. He was in Cleveland first.
Yeah,
left Cleveland, came to Miami, learned how to win, went back to Cleveland, won, then went to LA and won, right?
But technically,
but he still went back to Cleveland.
In every city that he's been in.
But also when he went to LA, Danger, did your boy make it to the playoffs year one? Not even the championship. Did he make it to the playoffs year one?
No, he got injured. He got injured and did not make it because he got injured. That's fine. But at the same time, he didn't come to an already made team either. In LA. Year one, he didn't come to an already made team.
That's fine, but we're not gonna act like LeBron James is the greatest athlete of all time already. We still have Michael Jordan up there. He still has
no. Let's stop that. This is about Tom Brady, not about Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is not the best athlete. You know why Michael Jordan? You could make an argument.
Tom Brady's not a better athlete than Michael Jordan. So Michael Jordan is the best athlete of all time.
Well, I'm sorry, LeBron James. Okay, hold up. Let's get this straight. Let's get the straight player. The argument for Jordan is only this. He is one of the most phenomenal basketball players ever, and he also played baseball. You talk about athleticism. He also played baseball.
But he was a very mediocre baseball player.
It's still major leagues. How many people made the major leagues? He's actually
mediocre. He was decent.
Right?
I mean, and he's not a bad golfer either. If we want to be technical.
Are we really going to go there about golf?
That too.
Golfer? No, I'm not throwing that out. I'm not talking about that. But he played two sports. I'm going to give Michael Jordan that because he played two sports. I'm going to give LeBron James that, though, because he went into different franchises with different demands on his body for each franchise. For doing it at the age that he's doing, that Jordan was not able to do. Jordan wasn't playing at that level when he came back to play for the Wizards for those, two years? He wasn't doing that. He wasn't taking them kids like that. LeBron James, best athlete all time. Definitely not Tom Brady because what? Tom Brady was in one system his entire career. That a lot of people have speculated, and I believe it is true, is that only reason Tom Brady was as good as he was, and he's good, not taking away the fact that he's good, right? But he played better in a system that worked to his skill set. When he first came to Tampa, he was not playing particularly great. And if you want to look at the season, he wasn't even playing particularly great until they went to the playoffs, really. They wasn't dominating teams. They wasn't Kansas City Chiefs teams.
Right.
They was beating a lot of the teams. They weren't blowing them out.
So then let's ask this then. So let's ask this because Dwayne got the question right here. It says, who is the best athlete of all time? Who would you say is the best athlete? Because we have people that are
Jackson great. Will always be the best athlete of all time. Bo Jackson, best athlete of all time. Three different sports. Bo Jackson. He played high level with all. I think he went to the All-Star game for baseball and basketball, baseball and football. Bo Jackson.
I can't argue that. With LeBron,
so let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this. If you're saying somebody's a great athlete, does it mean that they get that credibility because they played multiple sports, or do they have to play multiple sports each at a high level?
When you talk about being athletic, the ability to basically participate in as many sports as possible. Tom Brady. Tom Brady. You can solidify him as the greatest QB of all time. Perfect. I'll take that. The greatest quarterback of all time. But being a quarterback and being an athlete are two different things. Because he's not the most athletic quarterback of all time. He's not. So,
he's not like a Michael Vick type quarterback. He's just,
He's not Michael Vick. He's not Steve McNair. He's not Johnny McNabb. He's not Ryan Tannehill. He's not Johnny Unitas. We're going to get some old heads. Joe Montana.
Out of bars his face.
It's a long list before you can put Tom Brady at the greatest athletic QB of all time. So I think we can pretty much dead this. Tom Brady is not.
Dan Marino. I'm just going to throw him in there.
So you say, Danger, you say Bo Jackson. Okay.
Yep. Did you see the full extent of that athleticism to Bars's point? Is what do you consider athletic?
Yeah.
So you look at Tom Brady's situation, not to say again he's not the GOAT as far as for NFL quarterbacks, but he throws the ball well. And And
yeah,
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
like Deion Sanders. You know what I mean? You have people who are way more athletic. Way more athletic. Yeah.
I feel like people are trying to boost Tom Brady's legend more than it needs to be. You know what I mean? I feel like
they need to come back down.
it's fine. The rings kind of show for it. His performances show for it. We don't have to big him up more than what has already been shown.
No, I agree.
Okay. All right. So now let's move on to some good stuff here.
Wow, I kind of caught me by surprise. I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to.
You weren't ready. You weren't ready for that.
Yeah, I wasn't even sure what I'm supposed to talk about. Oh yes, beautiful.
Let's get into it. Let's get into it.
Absolutely. All right. So this happened like a couple weeks ago, and I thought it was very interesting though, because it wasn't just like a regular NBA scuffle. There's like a little bit of a backstory because of the recent events going on. So you guys all remember the swap that happened between Houston and Washington, where Russell Westbrook ended up getting traded to the Washington Wizards, and John Wall got traded to the Houston Rockets. So team switch, right? And at first I was like, all right, cool. You know, no big deal, because they're both essentially to me the kind of same kind of players. You know what I mean? Similar type of athletes. So it wasn't really a big deal. So they played each other for the first time a couple weeks ago, and they both got teed up, and one of them got ejected. I think it was Russ, ended up getting ejected from the game. And normally that happens kind of in NBA, and but to my knowledge, these guys never had beef before.
Yeah.
I know Russ is, he's a very passionate player, but these guys have never had beef. They've never really gotten into it before. So I was curious because I didn't watch the game, but I heard about it the next day, and I was like, what could have caused this? And I think the issue is that for John Wall's issue was that supposedly he said that him and Russ just jaw. You know what I mean? That's something that happens in NBA. You kind of jaw. They got into a jawing match, but it's no big deal. There's no problems there. It's all love. He was playing hard because, John Wall was playing hard because he felt some type of way about the Wizards just trading him away. He felt that he had more to do in D.C., in Washington, and he felt some type of way about it. So he balled out that night. Mm-hmm. Russell Westbrook, though, was like, nah, I don't know anything about that. I don't talk to nobody unless somebody talk to me. You know what I mean? You can miss me with that. And I feel like for Russell Westbrook, he's mad because he's in Washington now. He knows that he's not going to win the way he was going to win
in Washington.
Right. If anything, like John Wall won that trade because even though he's in the West, which is harder conference, Rockets are a much more talented team compared to the DC with the Wizards guys. So, I mean, I feel like that's why Russell was mad because he knows that, he can getting older. That window's closing, and
it's frustration because I believe
here.
I believe he just got ejected another game going back and forth with Rondo recently, like this past week. I think he had another back and forth with Rondo. He got ejected also. I don't know what happened to Russell Westbrook.
He went to Washington. That's what I'm saying. He can't.
He was before Washington. Like when he went at first year, Houston was not good.
Well, he didn't play. I think what the thing with Russell is that he didn't play particularly well in the playoffs, right? And he never got to make up for it. He never got to really make up for it. You know what I mean? It's a new season. It's early in the season. I'm gonna come back. We're gonna run it back, right? Harden, everybody's gonna be back. We're gonna run it back, and we're gonna get there. But then James Harden's like, I'm not happy. These guys aren't talented enough. I'm getting the fuck out of here. And Russell's just like, all right, cool. I'll just carry the team, right? It'll be my team now.
No, that's what he did. Westbrook was out of there first. He didn't want to be on the Rockets anymore. He chose. He chose to leave.
But he did want a team for himself, though.
I think in the beginning he was fine going to Washington, especially knowing he had Bradley Beal. But I think Bradley Beal was a little pissed off at the situation that happened with John Wall and the Washington Wizards because that's his boy.
Right.
I think once he saw how they treated that situation, he really didn't want no parts of it.
I didn't even realize.
I think Washington Wizards has some shit going on eternally that might have spilled out also because, during that game, the Washington Wizards and the Houston Rockets game, John Wall and Bradley Beal, they pieced it up. They haven't seen each other in a while or whatnot. They're friends. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there might be a little bit of animosity with Westbrook on that also. Maybe he's been trying to build a rapport with Bradley Beal, and maybe Beal is just mentally he's out of there already. He doesn't want to be in Washington.
He mentally checked out.
Yeah.
You might be right, man. I don't see Westbrook. It might be his persona. I don't think he's a bad guy. I think he's a hard competitor. I don't see him really reaching out like that, trying to make friends. I feel like he's like Kobe. Like Kobe was. Kobe wasn't trying to make no friends. Kobe's like, you're here to win or you're here not to win.
If you think I'm a jerk,
that's just my take. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I'll win you a championship.
Yeah, definitely.
That's really it.
It's all right, Russ. Go ahead, eat that money and come to the Knicks. We ain't trading nothing for you.
Hey, yo, is that rumor? I saw a rumor about, you know what I'm talking about, right? About somebody potentially moving to the Knicks, but it's so far-fetched that I don't believe it.
There's so many rumors, man, and none of them are true. None of them are true. I heard tons of rumors. I heard James Harden was going to be coming before he got traded. I heard Derrick Rose is coming. Like,
they were talking about Steph Curry being moved.
Who?
They were talking about Steph Curry being moved. I'm like, that's so unrealistic. Don't get me happy for no reason now. Come on now.
No,
don't do that.
Never. Don't do that. Steph Curry is going to retire in that jersey out there.
Yeah, I believe so.
Unless they do something really fucked up, nah.
Yeah, because he has no reason to leave.
Houston Texans.
He's home. He's home. All right, so let's move on to these personalities. And Danger, please share with us what happened here, please.
I should have sent you the clip so we can examine it. If you haven't seen it already, have you guys seen the video?
Yeah, I've seen it.
I saw the video.
So I was trying to make sense of it because I saw the video and I tried to find different copies of it to really get it right. And I don't know why they seem to be censored. It sounded like they were censored, like he was talking and he was yelling, and all of a sudden what he was actually saying, I couldn't hear it because it seemed like it was mixed and chopped. And I was like, is he really yelling at him, or is he having a passionate conversation?
I thought they were getting hyped. That's what I thought.
I know the backstory, at least from what I've heard. So this was the time when Kanye he really jumped off the rails, and I don't know if you guys remember the picture of Dave Chappelle. Damn it! Why am I drawing a blank? Rockefeller.
Dame Dash.
Yeah. Dave Chappelle, Dame Dash, Chance the Rapper. I think Mos Def was in that picture also at Kanye's ranch in Utah. This was from that trip. So Kanye was working on his album, and Chance saw all the stuff going on with Kanye in the news and stuff, and he went to go check on him, just to, as a friend, just make sure he was good. Kanye wanted Chance to get on the album, and Chance was like, "Yeah, I'm not here for that. I'm here just to make sure you're good." And Kanye ain't like that. Kanye, he wanted that verse,
right?
And I think that's what the screaming match happened. I seen that joint, Kanye. Yeah, I got any time. Yeah.
Kanye need to relax.
Yeah. I mean, he's going through it. I mean, how many Kim they officially getting a divorce?
But here's the thing: how come the divorce hasn't happened yet?
I don't think the new season of the Kardashians is out yet. That's why, bro.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah,
but I'm sure it was a how do I put it? Like a brotherly type of conversation, because it's all up there. They just probably had like a little bit of a passionate, convo about a situation, and they had a little bit of a disagreement, but then they just moved on from it.
Yeah, Chance had to tell me
people are making it seem like, oh man, Kanye and Chance are beefing.
Relax, he ain't want to rap.
Exactly. I don't feel like rapping. I'm just here to spectate and make sure that you're good. I'm here for moral support.
You can see the caption right now. I'm not getting on the track, Kanye.
All right, we got one more thing. that that is under dangerous topics, and I think it definitely needs to be spoken about.
Yeah.
What word is that?
Let's get into it.
What word is that?
Yeah,
It's the N-word.
I'm waiting for one of y'all to tell me.
Nickelback.
Are we really?
Of course,
Nightcap.
Are we really? Is the visual help? No. The N-word. So that we know. So, this comes up periodically. It's not the first time I think we've talked about it on the podcast. It might be like the third or so if we keep count, but it comes up in our society. And there's this trend going on that I've loved ever since it started, where it's a scene from Grand Theft Auto 5 where Lamar is sitting there cracking on Franklin about his haircut outside his house. So I think I talked about this before, where people are actually inserting different characters. So there's like Mickey Mouse plays Lamar and he's roasting Franklin, right? And then they have like RoboCop roasting Franklin. So all this stuff has been going through. I've been looking at all these different videos, and the videos are from different YouTube creators. So I was thinking about it, right? Because in the line, Lamar says, nigga. And I've noticed that these different creators, some creators are actually saying the exact same line, the correct line. Other creators are using a different word, right? I was like, all right, cool. Thought that'd be interesting, but not too interesting. And then I stumbled across another channel where there was a music video. This guy was doing music videos where he edited the Grand Theft Auto footage to make it seem like a music video. Like they had Trevor Phillips doing Hi, My Name Is by Eminem, right? And I'm going through some of these videos, and when in the raps, the characters are saying nigga. So my thought is, and we have this conversation about who can and who can't say it. What about if it's inside something that you create? Like if I make a comic, like anime. If I make anime, if I'm non-black or brown, and I make an anime, and I say nigga,
you could ask that question for both sides. You can let's say if you're black and you make a cartoon with white characters and make them say the N-word, is that wrong? Or if you're white and you have black characters and you have a white person voicing one of the black characters, are they allowed to say?
I mean, for the art, yes, they should be. It's artistically
tough one.
I would have a hard time, watching. If I was a voice actor and we were in a room full of voice actors and we were doing a scene, and that scene calls for one of the white voice actors to speak as a black person and use the N-word, it might be a little unsettling.
Yeah, it might be a little unsettling.
But to hear it on screen, if I didn't know it was a white person and I later found out it was a white person, be like, oh, wow, that's crazy. It might be a little funny to me just because I didn't know. Like if I found out Riley from Boondocks was actually not Regina King and it was a white person, and then I actually saw that footage of him recording that, I might laugh.
I feel like this is gonna be the workaround. You're like, listen, I've never said the N-word in my life. My cartoon, however, said it a million times.
That's exactly
that character has a problem.
All right. So now, before we move on to our favorite part of the show for bars hypotheticals, I actually have a new segment that I'd like to mess around with.
Okay.
It's called
That's dope. All right.
So, real quick, you guys have seen Wonder Woman, right? Wonder Woman is, pretty much across the board, universally known as one of the most iconic superheroes of all time. That's fair to say, right? I would even go further and say that he's probably the most well-known female superhero of all time. All that is fair to say, correct?
Okay.
Yeah.
What if I were to tell you that there's some rising backlash of the potential prospect that Wonder Woman is a rapist? I'm gonna let that marinate for a minute. That look of disbelief. I want all of it. I want all of it. But hear me out here, right? So the argument was, first of all, let me just say,
can women be rapists, guys? Is that women rape?
I wouldn't say.
It's been known that
it depends on the woman. It depends on the woman.
Okay, so here's the situation. I just want to say off rip, the first movie was way better than this second one. The second one was trash.
Yeah, all right.
It
wasn't trash. Okay, it's 50% awesome. Okay, it was 50% awesome.
Less great than the first one.
Agreed.
That's how I see it. It was trash. But here's the thing, right? People are saying, you know that part where Steve Trevor takes over that gentleman's body, right? Wonder Woman wanted nothing to do with him until she found out that Steve Trevor was in that man's body.
Right.
Cut to the next scene. They wake up in bed together, implying that they had sex.
Correct.
Wonder Woman had sex with this man against his will because Steve Trevor was using his body as a vehicle, but the man's body, the man that owns that body, had nothing to do with that decision.
Well, consciously, he wasn't there.
Letting it happen. Say it again?
Say consciously, he wasn't there.
It's still his
whoa, Barb. Whoa.
It's his body.
Whoa. That doesn't make it right. Okay?
That sounded wild. Yeah.
Body, okay. If you fall asleep, technically you're not there. Okay. I'm just saying.
No. So okay. The person, okay, for the sake of the film, the idea is it was a body swap
Yes. Consider this scenario, right? Because this is very similar. Let's say, for whatever reason, Wonder Woman had an STD, right? Let's just for argument's sake, Wonder Woman had an STD.
Okay. Hey, if that's the case, wouldn't it be a super STD?
It would be an SSTD.
And she'd be
That's what it would be. It would be an SSTD, right? So she has this double STD and sleeps with Steve Trevor using this gentleman's body, right? Fast forward, Steve Trevor is now gone. The man has his body back. And he goes to the doctor and discovers he has an SSTD. And he goes, wait a minute, what are you talking about? I never had sex with anybody over the course of me being knocked out. Oh, no. Wait a minute. Somebody controlled my body. Now I have an SSTD. How do you argue your way out of that situation?
What are you going to do?
I think you just gotta live with it. But...
And then what is the STD? Which one is it?
I have no idea. I just I don't know.
All
Amazonian crabs. I don't know. I'm just just making it up.
That makes sense. That makes sense. The island sand thing. Yep.
Yeah, Amazonian crabs.
In the movie, didn't they have an interaction first before the dude?
They did.
And what was the interaction? Was he trying to come on to her?
The movie was so bad I don't remember.
No. At the end they had the interaction, where they were out.
Yeah. At the end, they had the interaction when he was normal.
Yeah, but she was flirting a little bit though. And
yeah, because she was like, "Yeah, I've had you, and you don't even know it." Rick Ross.
Does that make it better? Does that make it better though that he might consent to the second round of sexual interaction?
It cancels out.
Yeah, does
it cancel out though? Because I mean,
you weren't awake for the first one, but the second
he wasn't
completely consensual.
And I mean, and then think about this. Let's say they recorded it, and Wonder Woman goes to that guy and shows him the footage, and he goes, "I didn't do any of that."
That's hilarious,
right? And that's it's a very sticky situation, no pun intended.
You sure? Because that's a weird choice of words for not to be pun intended.
On that note, we're going to shift gears and go into our favorite part of the show.
Okay, fellas, this is it. It's the last segment of the show. I really enjoy doing these with you guys. Yeah, it's awesome.
The setup has me nervous because he's going in this. He's entering this with the utmost confidence in his voice.
No, I mean, we're gonna do doors. You got door A and door B.
Why are there only 2 doors and 3 of us?
There's no. Oh, so you don't get to walk through a door? That's what it is.
Is door A or door B?
No, this seems like a trap. Like
this is a trap.
Which door are you walking through?
One of these back doors. I want the front door.
I'm gonna go to door B. I have no idea what's behind any of these doors, but I'm going to door B.
All right, you're taking the back door. All right, cool. And all right, awesome. So, door A, Sir Danger. You only have 2 options here.
This already feels wrong. I just want to.
You only have 2 options. I mean, this can be light for you.
It could be light. Okay, all right.
But is it light? Is the question.
So, you got 2 options. Okay, option 1. Dealing with a female. Having women in your life.
Start off good.
Definitely, right? As long as you keep it, I got you, brother. I got you. So,
you know he's gonna drag the story out. He's gonna drag it out.
Definitely. He's saying female, but it could be a different pronoun. It could change.
So, all right. So you have the option to be with a woman who is beautiful, who cooks and cleans and has great credit, but she never wants sex. Ever. Versus a woman who is unattractive by society rules, who doesn't cook and she does not clean, but she has.
She's gonna tell you how she got this ring.
But she has an inheritance and she's a nymphomaniac.
It's funny, Glenn, because I was thinking about that. Not the super clap, but yeah, that makes sense too. Yeah, that made sense too for last segment. Yeah. So yeah, this is definitely easy. Because I'm not that vain, and also I could hire help to do all that stuff. I'm going number 2.
Going number 2.
Yeah, she's good at it, right? Though she's gonna bob that head back and everything.
Oh God.
Just because she's a nympho doesn't mean she got skills. I'm gonna need her not to just have the desire in her heart. I'm gonna need her to have the skill in her tool set. You know what I mean?
This is one where she doesn't give you that
mega herp. Yes.
You just buy the maid for the cooking and the cleaning. Personal stuff.
Yep, all of that. She got an inheritance. We good. Hopefully the inheritance is hefty because I'm gonna be mad if she got like 40 greens of that. Like 40 G's. I'm just like, what am I supposed to do?
Right.
Exactly.
It's gonna be pimping time. Just saying.
All right, cool.
Yes.
Well, G,
Win.
Yeah, Danger, you definitely you got the better one.
Oh, yo, why does this always happen?
You picked first. You picked first.
I picked first, so I figured, okay, like I beat Danger to it this time. Maybe he's going to get a more difficult one. I'm already upset. Go ahead, just ask the question.
And I'm so glad that it's you that has to answer this. So you only got two options. You know, times are hard right now. You got COVID happening. A lot of jobs are closing down. You know,
Why do I feel like I'm going to have to prostitute?
A lot of people are being forced to leave the offices. A lot of people have to work from home. For you, sir, very true. Very true.
I feel like that's a cautionary tale from Humphrey. Humphrey's like, well, that's probably not the one you want to play with. So we go get that super cat.
So, Sir G, for you, you're looking to work from home. You own two options. You have the ability to work from home and make 7 figures anonymously searching for child pornography for the FBI. Or you can make 6 figures doing taboo role playing over the phone where only men call. Which one are you taking?
Both of these seem like good options, G. I don't think you can look.
I'll be honest with you, man. Okay.
Yeah, but no one can know that you're working for the FBI. So your family doesn't know that you work for the FBI.
And it's anonymous, child pornography, but you got to see it though.
But I don't know if I want to see that, man. That's gross.
I understand. So, you know, you get that taboo.
How anonymous am I during the party line with men? What was
that's
that?
not anonymous at all. That's not.
Oh, people know that I do that.
You know what you do for a living.
No, he answered as a
So hey,
real
so
name.
GQ, what exactly do you do? GQ, what exactly do you do? Oh, I turn men on.
No. You don't just turn men on. It's taboo. Meaning, you know, they have daughter-father fantasies, mother-son fantasies, uncle-niece, uncle-nephew, auntie.
Yeah, this definitely turned.
I'm gonna have to take Glenn's suggestion. Because as disturbing as that is, I'm gonna definitely need to follow up with a therapist, a really good therapist, especially since I could afford to get one with the 7 figures.
I feel like you probably need therapy either job.
Either way.
No, I'm gonna need therapy, but at least I'm at peace with the first choice simply because it's anonymous. That's really the deal maker there.
But
yeah, but you know what you're doing.
Yes, that's why I'm getting a therapist.
See.
And now check it out. Now, because I have a 7-figure job, I'll be able to invent a neuralizer. So every time I go into the workplace, after I clock out, forget all that crap.
You gotta keep that image of little Jimmy's Jimmy. You gotta keep it.
You're a hero. Just think about it. You're a hero.
Why do I feel like we're adding rules to the parameter?
Neuralizer, my nigga. Like
Look, man, because I'm making 7 figures now. So that means I can go and I can get a neuralizer specially made for my situation. Forget this amount of time and be at peace.
It's not real.
It'll be hilarious. He's gonna be going around talking about what do you do? I work for the FBI. What do you do there?
With the amount of money that I'm getting paid, inventor, they're going to make it real. It's going to be a real invention, and I'm going to be the sole holder of that prevention. Whoever else wants to use it needs to pay me for it. Because
he's already preparing his mind for the job.
Yeah, everything is gross.
Way to commit, G. Way to commit.
Everything is gross. But the fact that the FBI job is anonymous, that's really what won it for me.
Oh yeah.
I'm not walking around telling people, such an embarrassing job that I do for a living.
All right. Bars, what about you, man?
What do we do for you?
What y'all got? What's up?
Danger, please.
No, I'm gonna need you to pull one that you got for us for next.
No. He's gonna pull one. He's gonna pull one that's incredibly simple.
No.
Hey, do you like peanut butter and jelly with or without crust? That's what he's gonna pull.
Right. Hey, you guys come up with one, man. I don't have anything for me.
All right, hold on. Let me. Now you got us doing homework.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I feel like we should probably start to expect this, though. He's gonna throw us out there, and we got to come up with something. Where's Pete at, man? We need her in the room.
She's not home, man. She had to bring something for
is gonna fucking
for a family member.
Shit, we can't do that.
Comfortable. Now I gotta look this up and see what will make bars squirm.
Let's see. Most horrible would you rather's?
Yes, that's what we're looking up. Only the dirtiest of the dirty for bars.
How about this? 17 fucking disgusting questions. Yes, that sounds about right.
That's what it's titled, for real?
Yep. Ooh, okay, gotcha. Like all right, let's go with the first one, shall we?
Oh.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh. How do we want to take this, G? How you want to do this, man? You want it to be uncomfortable, like embarrassing? You want it to be physically uncomfortable?
Oh, okay.
We got options.
Yeah, let's go for
that's 17 of them.
You danger.
Huh?
Let's go for the embarrassment.
Embarrassing. Okay, here we go.
Let's go for the embarrassment.
All right, Mr. Bars. So, would you rather drink a pint of your enemy's pee while they look you in the eye, or eat a bowl of your own shit while everyone you've ever dated watches?
Yes!
Oh shit!
Yes!
I'm gonna eat a bowl of my own shit.
Really? Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Whoa, wait a minute. Wait. Hold on. Whoa. Stop everything. Why did he say that with no hesitation?
None. I thought he was gonna think about it. What was the first thing?
There was no thinking. There was like, oh, easy. I'll eat the crap.
I ain't no bitch. I'm not gonna be drinking my enemy's piss while he's staring at me in my eyes. No.
That's right. It's the principle. It's
No.
the principle. I respect it.
I'll eat my own shit.
I respect it.
So you do that over drinking the piss.
Yeah. Especially another nigga's piss? Hell yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm eating my own shit.
Now, Danger, what were the parameters again? He has to eat the bowl with what's going on?
Don't try to add to it. I answered it.
It was everyone who he's ever dated has to watch while he does it. So.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because they're
including anyone he's currently.
He got off scotch-free because they're all in his past.
No, and current.
He's not looking. He doesn't care about them anymore. So it's like
and current. Yep. And current. Yep. She gonna kiss me with the boot mouth and all. Yep.
Don't be surprised if your girl's watching this. You may not get no kisses for a long time, man.
Hey, listen, she understand.
They're gonna be closed mouth kisses, right? Or she's gonna be blowing you kisses from across the room.
For real. She ain't even gonna do forehead kisses. Too close.
At some point, I'll get my regular kisses back. I might not get a kiss at all if I'm drinking another nigga's piss while he's staring me in my eye. What? Oh, you just gonna drink like that?
Wait a minute. What happened?
It's like, oh, you just gonna drink his piss like that while he's standing in front of you staring at you? Oh, really?
You gonna lock eyes with him while you do it? And you just gonna gulp it down with no break? You just gonna gawk, all that without breathing, just staring him in the eye without blinking? What kind of nonsense is this? Man, that's rather disturbing. Well, see now, the only way you'd be able to get the kiss is if she's asleep and you come by and you do the whole Sleeping Beauty thing.
Oh, she getting tongue it off.
Yep. That'll be hilarious. Here's the thing. You do realize that women have reflexes. So you might catch a three-piece in the middle of a kiss. So I'd be very careful. I'd probably, I'd do it real quick and just move.
Yeah, man.
Exercise your Floyd Mayweather bob and weave. You could already pull trucks. Now you just gotta, you know what I'm saying?
I'm real good.
Exactly.
I just want to say thank you, Aaron. Just thank you. Thank you, man. Coming through.
She can't kiss you after drinking the next man's piss. That's essentially like sucking him up.
Thank you.
I don't know.
That's
I feel like
true.
it's probably worse than sucking him up. I don't know.
That's very true.
Piss seems degrading.
And head
So piss is degrading. Crap is just plain old disgusting, but it has no moral compass.
When it's your own, no. Nah, when it's your own, nah.
Sounds like experience, or
no, it's not experience. I'm just saying.
It's just like he's like pretty comfortable. When it's your own, it's not that bad.
Yeah, I'm like, you mad comfortable about this. Okay.
Oh man.
All right. Well, here is the end of our show. We really appreciate you guys listening and watching us and putting up with the tomfoolery during every episode. And let me just say, man, we promise you guys that we have some great things in our future. You have no idea. This week was like the light bulb just went off, and now we're just kind of like super focused, full speed ahead. There's lots of things coming up, man, and I cannot wait until we get into that position in which we can share it with you all. You guys are going on this journey with us, so it's only proper that we share the little tidbits of our journey with you guys. So we appreciate your support. Once again, go to thosepeople.com, go to the merch section, get yourself some merch because you deserve it.
You do.
You know what I mean? Go to the raw orange section if you like abstract art, photography. Support Soul Patch Adams and his work. And of course, man, if you need anything edited, if you need something live streamed, if you need any type of production services or consultation, that's what we do as well. And we're pretty damn good at it. So don't hesitate, man. Reach out to us and we will help you with all of your production needs. But until then, Sir Danger.
Hey, you know what time it is, man. Enjoyed having you guys in the show, in the room, on this planet, man. You know how we always do. Please continue to support those people, because anytime you support those people, you are also at the same time simultaneously supporting you.
Yes, sir. And with that, we are out.
Deuces.
Finger guns. Boom, boom, boom.